ho, ho, ho.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I love that one. I wish we could play that all the time.
I can make another cutesy one like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not as cutesy. I
That's
don't know
true.
how you would make a January cutesy one, like Santa
Yeah.
working out.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm over here over on Facebook trying
I
to
am sharing.
click my share button here.
If you would all do us a favor and share, like, follow, subscribe, all those fun words that people say because we have to. Would
I
you do that
know.
for us today as
It
we
helps us.
share? It does. It really does. It helps other people that you follow. It helps us that you hopefully will soon follow if you're not. But we have a
Yeah.
great show set up for today. We
Yeah.
have no idea necessarily exactly what we're going to be talking about, but we have an idea.
Those are the best shows.
I love it.
Those are the best shows, I think. They're most dangerous.
Yes.
You get
Is
what
it
you get and you don't throw a fit.
also 15 days left to get your holiday shopping done as we were
See.
talking about.
If you all could see, so behind me looks so serene and
It
peaceful
does.
and all of that, and the
Yep.
dogs are being serene and peaceful. But in front of me, I am looking at a toilet. I'm looking at a clawfoot tub. Oh, I've got a shower now, supposedly.
Yes.
If you hear any pounding, he's upstairs.
You're forgiven. It happens. You can't be embarrassed about it. You can't be
I'm
frustrated.
not embarrassed. I'm depressed. Like, I'm going into this really depressed mode. And I told my contractor yesterday, by the way, I'm going to release his name after I'm done with him,
I
because
was gonna
not
say.
getting it before. This man is known all over town. Like, he is a contractor known all over town, and he gets these emergency calls, and I'm like, but I am your emergency from now until you finish.
At
There's
least
no furnace emergencies.
At least until you get the shower in and the toilet.
So
'Cause
I went to Planet Fitness last night. We don't have a shower in our house. Went to Planet Fitness and I took a shower last night. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I'm
See,
grateful.
listen, some of you don't understand what it's like to live in a household that only has one bathroom, but they in the 1920s is when Monica's house was made.
1910.
1910.
Yeah.
I had no idea when your house was made, but I knew it was like
1910.
near. So they only really needed one
They
bathroom.
had different ideas about what is
Yeah.
necessary in houses.
Yeah.
There's no storage that was necessary because I think they
No,
only had
They
3
didn't
outfits.
have a whole lot of things. No.
But when we took down this room, we found weird stuff in there, like random fuses on the walls and random lighting. So we don't know what they did with
Right.
with the bathroom there. We have no idea. We think we found one of those, those toilets where you pull the chain, like we
You
think
gonna
that
get-
we found the attachments to that.
I was like, are you going to put a toilet in like that?
No, I
That'd
would
be
be too
amazing.
powerful and I would push it. No.
You know what I hear? I hear a friend that we have not seen or heard a peep of
Who?
from
On our
Winston.
live today?
Yes, Winston. I hear him today.
Winston. He's excited because of all the pounding up there.
I haven't heard
Mhm.
from No
Why
Hide,
don't
No
you bring
Hair.
him in as a guest one day?
You
You
should.
should.
We miss
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. So Christmas, nothing's
Christmas.
done. I don't have so much. I have a fir tree up, one of those like 3-level trees that is. But I'm just
Did you even
I'm
get a real
just-
tree?
no. Which I think that's the problem because every year we have a fight. Our family has a fight.
Wait a minute. Before you finish that, I
Mhm.
just want everybody to know that via mouths of her children, it's just her and Brian.
No, because they sit back and watch.
She and Brian have an argument on what size of tree and type of tree. I'm
We
not
don't
sure what
have to
type.
have a big tree.
I mean,
And we
you
don't have to spend $150 on a tree. Now, his point of view will be that it's my bill, and then I'm the one that picks out the expensive tree. But I don't know. We didn't have the annual fight this year, and so I think
You
that's
need to
why
go
Christmas
get-
has been ruined.
You need to go get a bush, like
A
your
Christmas bush?
Yeah,
Mhm.
at least something, or come over to my house.
I would if you invited me, but
I
you don't
did-
ever invite me.
I just did. Like, earlier, I wouldn't want anybody in my house, but now it's all decorated for Christmas.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Lights everywhere, and I've got multiple trees now because
If there
I'm
was
ending
a
up
if
like my
there was a
mother.
meter, if there was a meter of what Christmas spirit was in my heart, it's me right here.
But his
It's
heart
negative
his
10.
heart turns 3
My
times
God.
bigger, 2 times bigger.
Hopefully, it'll happen because my heart
You
is
watch
very small right
you
now.
should watch the movie, and that will get you into the Christmas
I
spirit.
did, and it didn't work.
Oh, you
I
should
watched
well,
Hallmark movies.
ew,
Nope, didn't
ew,
work. That always works, puts me in the
mm-mm.
spirit. But when I'm sitting next to a toilet and a shower in my living room, it's not working.
You and Silas need to watch
Is he,
Hallmark. He's
is he not in
he
the Christmas
no,
spirit?
he's a Hallmark movie kinda dude, and I'm not.
I
Like, nobody
am.
wants to watch Hallmark around here, but he does.
Mhm. I'll watch it with him.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
yeah, we're gonna talk today about how do you know when you're ready to lose weight? So, I was sitting there sulking this morning, thinking about my life and how I don't have a shower, and I was having a big pity party. But it brought me back to, and I want you to think about your moment that because I think maybe, and I don't know, I won't speak for you, but I
Mm-mm.
want to talk about the patterns that I had when I was 272 pounds.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember feeling this. I felt it this morning when I posted on my social media. So my weight loss story kind of went like this. So I would step on the scale and, my clothes would be fitting a little tight. I'm like, I better step on a scale. And this is when I was raising kids. And I would see like 199. I would see that and I would be so full of anxiety. I would see that number. You all know what I'm talking about when you see that
Mhm.
number. You wait those awkward, seconds before the scale decides to tell you how much you weigh. And I was like, I would be so full of anxiety and I would get off of that scale inspired to diet. And so that morning, it would be in the morning that I'd step on the scale. That morning, I would say, "Okay, I'm ready to diet." And then I would skip lunch. And I'd be a powerhouse lunch skipper. And then evening would come and that 8 o'clock time where you want some sugar, the sugar rush
Mhm.
would hit me in that evening and I would have forgotten because I was feeling good. I'd skipped lunch and I would cave into the sugar. And that would send me on a binge. I would go on a 20 pound. I would gain 20 pounds after that. Everything would be fine for a while because, the dopamine, the serotonin that the sugar brings would fix my brain. And I would feel like, hey, I'm doing great again. Till it would come time, the clothes would start fitting tighter and I would step on the scale. Well, when I step on the scale the next time, I'd be 225 pounds. And when I hit 225 pounds, I'd be like, the anxiety would hit differently. I would feel desperation and I would feel disgusted with myself. I would feel just time to diet again. So I'd get off this scale and this time I'd skip dinner. I would skip supper and I'd be like, all right, it's on like Donkey Kong. I'm a professional dieter. And then I'd wake up and be time to take Tony to daycare. And I'd wake up and I'd go to my regular spot and I'd see the Long John and I would see the donut that morning. And what would I do? I would cave. I would have the donut because that's what we did every morning. I would buy Tony a donut. I would buy myself a donut. So I'd have the donut. And then again, dopamine hits my brain, serotonin hits my brain. I am a happy girl again because I had the donut. And another 25 pounds. When I step on the scale next time, I'm 252. This time, it's getting a little bit more desperate. Seeing that 252, highest number on the scale, I would feel shame. I don't know. When you feel shame and when you feel anxiety? I don't know if this ever happened to you, but you feel like this heat. Your body just heats up. Like your
Mhm.
face flushes,
Yeah.
heat, instant heat, heart palpitations when I would see that number. And I
Mine
was
is when I'd
desperate.
get angry.
Yeah,
I get
like
that.
that pop
Yeah.
bottle fuse kinda
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
so this time I'd skip dinner because I didn't deserve to eat, and the food was making me fat. I didn't deserve to eat, so I'd punish myself, and then I'd
Mm.
join the gym. I remember joining the gym so many times that I didn't even go there one time. because I'd get up in the morning. I'm like, oh, it's too cold to go to the gym. So that night
Yep.
we'd have pizza. I've been watching on TikTok a lot. I don't know how I got on the I'm too this is what fat people eat during the day. That's the TikTok line I'm on right now.
You've got a lot of weird things that you follow.
Well, that and Terrence, you know.
And then there's Terrence.
But I'm on this line, what fat people eat in a day. And these women are proud of it. They're like, they do vlogs on what they eat in a day. And oh my gosh, it's so much what I ate. I mean, from the donut to the pizza to the KFC. I was
Yeah.
lazy. I was such
Yeah.
a lazy person. So I'd eat a pizza. The next time I stepped on the scale, it'd be 272. And so every time I'd step on the scale, the desperation grew, the diet sense grew. I had to diet. I had to do something more radical, but it never stuck. And so today I want to talk about how do you know when it's ready to stick? Because when I hit 272 and I sat across the table from our son Tony, who wanted to go to Cedar Point with us, and I couldn't fit on the rides, I was too big. That was my moment. Well, what was different about that moment versus all of the other moments that I stepped on the scale? The sad part is what people do is they know they have to lose weight. They know that they're in a dire situation and they're ready to diet and then they fail. But the problem is every desperation time that they have in those moments in time, they gained about 25 more pounds. So the desperation is harder and harder and harder and it's more powerful. So today I want to talk about what was the moment. How do you know you're ready to lose weight? Because here's a honest truth. We don't want you as a client until you're ready. There's nothing more sad to me than sitting with a client who loses 5 pounds over and over again. There's nothing more sad to me than that. Because number one, we take your financial investment in our company very, very seriously. And it's something that we want for you almost more than you want it for yourself. And so it really breaks our heart to do that. But we want it to be successful. We want you to be successful. And so there was something at that last moment of time because I've kept 130 pounds off for 8 years. What was it? What was different about that time? So, Darcy, I want you to talk about that was my cycle. That was
Mhm.
my cycle. Every desperation, I had gained about 25 more pounds and it was bumped it up to 272. And then something happened at that 272 where I hit my enough moment and I was ready to lose weight.
Right.
What is your story when thinking back to when, maybe before kids were born or when your whole weight loss, what was your story? Was it similar? Was it different? What did you experience until you knew, okay, this is the last time ever?
So I kind of wrote pinpoints down so I don't go into too depth
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
what it is. But I can recall I put the very first one was body shaming, and I would body shame myself the majority of my life. Um, I had some family members that have always been super tiny, cousins that are super tiny, and I'd always compare myself to them because I always had a voluptuous booty.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my grandma, and this is like a highlight. This is like these moments. Like I to back up also a little bit. 7th grade, or when I was 7 years old, I declared myself as fat. Like I called myself fat as I was swinging. So like I had already developed this mental instability when I was the age 7. I just remember at school swinging and I saw my legs squished together and I'm like, "Man, you're fat." So,
That's
but then
really
I
sad.
remember and my other one is when my grandma like tapped my booty and said that I had basically was telling me like I've got a voluptuous booty. Like that's basically you
Mm-hmm.
calling me fat. Cool. But surrounding myself with smaller people, like I've always compared myself to them.
Mm-hmm.
Then college hit. Like I was small. I was not overweight by all means at all in my life until I hit college. And then college, I just didn't know how to eat right. So I gained probably instead of freshman 15, I probably gained about the freshman 20. I never weighed myself because I was a
Mm-hmm.
college student, didn't care. And then I had Mark in my life, and I've always assumed things and thoughts in his head, even though he's never had these thoughts. But I always thought when I was overweight that I was just like, oh, he's going to leave me for somebody who is smaller and prettier and has a smarter brain because I didn't have confidence there. You kind of see the theme of the lack of
Mhm.
confidence in my
Yeah.
brain. Um, so it was driven, not driven,
Yes.
driven by that. Um, and then I got to a point where I'm thinking, oh, when we have kids, like that's when I see, women that are, maybe slightly overweight, that they have kids and then they lose weight really fast. So I'm just
Mhm.
thinking I was using my kids as a way of losing weight, but that
Mhm.
wasn't the case. Then breastfeeding was the other one. Like,
Mm.
oh, I lost a whole lot of weight when I was breastfeeding. No, that was not the case for me. That was not my story, which I was hoping and thinking that that would be it.
Mhm.
Then I remember another moment when I was standing in my bathroom, and this is the moment where I was looking in the mirror and said, "I just wish I could laser this all off.
Mhm.
Like I can't. I wish I could go backwards."
Desperation.
That was the desperation, and that was my marker of desperation, and that's when I went to all the guru world of like growing my own garden and eating quinoa and tofu and refried beans and very vegan like or vegetarian like.
Mhm.
Um, but I ate a lot. It didn't
Mhm.
matter because that stuff left me hungry. And I see that now. But before, I'm like, these people can eat little bits of vegetables and a little bit of um, chicken, and they're satisfied and they're
Mhm.
tiny and
Not
they
this
can go
girl.
run, and yeah. So that's kind of like the start of it. That I
Mhm.
knew that something needed to change. And a lot of my mindset was based around my husband. I'm like, I'm not like probably even satisfying to his eye, even though
Mhm.
that was false too. Like that was just the red dog talking to me. Um,
Yeah.
and then I watched your journey. I did all of those MLM companies when you were doing your MLM company, and I thought it was like a battle of, and you were able to
Mhm.
get so many people to sign up for your product, and I could barely get one person. And I was doing those stupid videos, adding people that I don't never even met in my life to my Facebook group because that's how they were teaching us to market this product.
Yep.
And so then they would have the before and afters, and I'm like, "Oh, this is working for all these people, but why is this not working for me?"
Right. Which,
I
by the way, pet peeve of mine. Let me tell you, if you ever see before and after pictures with my company, you will never find a before and after picture that is not a personal client or a personal story
right,
of mine.
right.
It is it is just maddening to watch some of these companies put these photos out and let these MLM users use people that they've never even met before.
Yeah.
Like their approved weight loss pictures that they didn't even work with.
When it's more geared towards marketing their
Exactly.
product
Yeah. Oh, it
than the fact.
yeah. You will never see a before and after picture that I have not personally impacted or touched or one of
Yeah,
my coaches. Never.
right.
Ask the person when you sign up for a weight loss program, have you worked with this very person that you're showing a before and after picture? 9 times out of 10, MLM companies will not do that.
Right. Right. And that it's really sad. And I fell into that trap
Mhm. Yeah.
because somebody that I knew said, "Oh, I was overweight." And I looked and it was like her face is a
Mhm.
little chunkier, but like I fell into that trap because of desperation.
Mhm.
And I worked my tail off having a garden with all sorts of fruits and vegetables, and I fell into that trap.
Mhm.
It was just like,
The
yeah,
quick dieting
yeah.
world. Yeah.
Because I didn't yes, I was growing my own fruits and vegetables, but I did not change any other way that I was eating.
Mhm. Your hormones, you
And
didn't change your
yeah, I
hormones.
didn't change my hormones. I didn't change um, the food choices meant for my body. Some people can live on vegetables alone for a short amount of time and be
Yeah.
considered healthy, but
Yeah.
anyway, so before kids, yeah, I knew like that's where I went down the rails of anxiety, depression.
Mhm.
I fed into the food. I guess I had an addiction far longer than I had even imagined. When I
Mhm.
remember going to my friend's house, and we would walk over to Big Lots, and I would spend all of
Oh,
my
yeah.
savings on food and candy, and I would have eaten the whole
Yep.
thing of food and candy, and that was a lot. I made a lot of money for my
Mhm.
age,
Yeah, you did.
and
We've discussed that in the past.
yeah, I
How
know.
much more mother paid you
I know.
to bathe the dogs.
I worked harder, and I was good at my job. Anyway,
Yeah. But
but I
it
did.
is it is the truth. It is the truth.
Yeah,
The diet cycles until you've had enough, until you said,
yeah,
I have had enough. And for me, it was so emotional. It was the fact that I couldn't be a mom
yeah,
because I was 272, couldn't fit on a roller coaster. I couldn't be the mom that I needed to be. The cool thing that we had, though, the cool thing that I think you also had was the recipe. And I don't think that I would have been successful in my enough moment. You have to have the enough moment. You have to be disgusted enough with the way you're running your life that you will do anything,
yeah,
anything, to reverse it. But I think the benefit that we have and the wonderful thing that we have for our clients is we have the recipe to changing the hormones. We were not put on a diet. We were not put on a starvation diet. We learned our hormones. We understood what we were doing. Now, at first I didn't. At first I'm like, Renee, just tell me what to eat and I'll eat because I saw
yeah,
her losing weight. After a while, I'm like, well, why is the weight not coming back? Why am I feeling satisfied? Why do I have all this energy? Why in the world did my depression reverse? What is happening? And so when we dug deeper into the why, we realized we are changing the chemistry of our body. And
mhm,
so we had that as a wind behind our sails. When it came to our success, but we still have in our practice, we still have those people who want to lose the same 5 pounds over and over and over. They're not willing to change their lifestyle. Those people are not ready to lose weight. As much as I want to cheer for them, those people are
yes.
not ready to lose weight. Until you're ready to change your lifestyle and until you're ready to put yourself first, frankly, you're not going to win.
Right. And it's bizarre that there's people in our lives
Mhm.
that have watched our journey,
Yeah.
that hear our stories all the time, and yet they want the change, but it's just not
Not bad
enough.
enough.
Not
Yeah.
bad enough. And
Yeah.
it's the point then we're like, "Oh, well, then I'll do it on my own.
Mhm.
I
I'll
don't need
take the diet.
anybody."
I'll take
Yeah,
the diet. I'll
and they
take the
did.
surgery. I'll take the
Yeah,
pill, the shot.
because they're not willing to give up
Mhm.
the foods that we have normalized
Yeah.
in America.
The heartbreaking thing about that is those people on the shot, the pill, the potion, those people will lose weight, but you can literally prophesy and speak you can literally lay out here's what's going to happen in your life because when they're not willing to leave the ultra processed food, the sugar, the things that were killing them in the first place and they're just wanting to mask it over with a drug, those people are going right back to the pit where they came from. Except they're going to be short about $6,000 because of the cost of all of those things.
Yeah.
I don't like this time of year. My Facebook feed changes. I start to see before and after pictures with these magical potions and I get sad. I get angry when I see it because I see people's lives and the fact that they're gonna fall for this and the devastation that it's gonna cause them when that weight returns or when that
Yeah.
pill that they just spent a lot of money and the latest one is drops. When they find out that that doesn't work and they actually have to change their lifestyle and they actually have to work and deal with the demons of addiction,
Mhm.
it's sad. It is just so, so sad to me. And I always joke about our busy season. We're weight loss coaches, but our busy season doesn't start because we do the hard stuff. Our busy season doesn't start till about March 1st,
Right.
when those pills and drops and pokes all fail. And that's when we pick up the pieces. Um, and, it's just, you just look around and people are like, well, can you back up that with data? Absolutely, I can. Look at what's happening. Look what happens that, you know, do you lose weight with a GLP-1? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Do you lose weight on Optavia? You're starving yourself. Absolutely
But
you
yes.
do. Do you keep it
Exercise?
off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
for a
Yeah, you
little
can
bit.
beat yourself up at the gym.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Do you keep it off? No, you don't.
Nope.
Period. You have to adjust the root. And sometimes that means you got to go through therapy. We we get in the pit with our clients and
Mhm.
sometimes it is ugly. Sometimes I am exhausted. Monday nights for me, there's nothing left because we are in the pit working through those issues. I was so excited. I take 5-year clients. I think you do the same. 5. I don't want more than 5 full-time year clients just because I pour so much of my soul into these people. But I just got 4 out of the 5 results back, and I have the 5th one, I think, on Thursday. The numbers, 90 pounds, 88 pounds, 72 pounds, and another 92 pounds. Those people, those women, they're all women, they just came in. Number 1, they knew we had a year, so they were not freaked out about, "I've gotta lose 3 pounds a week. I've got to lose because I only have you for 3 months. I know I have you for a year." Those people did not waste a single moment with me. I mean, and some people come into the year program and half hack it, and they're not a success. This group of people that I had this year came in and said, "Whatever if you tell me to stand on my head, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to ask you questions. I'm just going to do it." They just did it. They didn't freak out if they didn't lose weight that week. They didn't they well, for a week. They didn't freak out if they were frustrated. They just did the things, and they completed my statistic of, if you have 100 pounds to lose, give me a year.
Mhm.
Give Coach Darcy a year if you've got 100 pounds to lose. Don't freak out. Don't go in there guns blazing on January 1st and say, I'm going to cut my calories. No, we ease into it. We ease
Right.
into it because it's the lifestyle that's going to keep you there. It's a
Well,
lifestyle that changed Darcy and I.
in a with the people I've had for a year plus, I think I've had a couple people for a little longer, but I love this because we can see the we can collect the data first of
Mhm.
all,
Yeah.
and the like-mindedness of when somebody is losing weight. You have the honeymoon phase, you have the
Mhm.
fork in the road phase, you have the euphoric phase, you have the the scales off of your eyes phase. And we love watching this, and this is why
Mhm.
I know I read this might stir up something, but I read your post the other day that was talking about how important it is to not only have your enough moment, but work on the mental side of your lifestyle in order to have and I think this was geared
Mhm.
towards addictions. If you do not work on the mental side of your lifestyle, you're not going to have
Mm-mm.
a successful lifestyle change.
Mhm.
You're going to have the diet mindset always. But I love stories when I have clients to say, I can get on the scale now
Mhm.
and not punish myself because
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the results that I want to see.
Mhm.
I can get on the scale and collect the data to learn more about my body and how it works, and see like, oh, there's probably inflammation happening because of
Mhm.
X, Y, and Z. I love how they can problem solve
Mhm.
on their own and not put themselves in the corner because they're disappointed that
The
something's
corner
not
of
going their
shame.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where we have mentally put ourselves so many times when we are in this diet cycle.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
shame ourselves.
Yeah.
We have these high expectations about a product, about a diet, about something, whatever have you tried, and we punish ourselves with either starving ourselves or basically starving ourselves and then
Yeah.
going backwards and binging. Like there's this cycle that we
Yeah.
just can't seem to get out of.
Yeah.
But getting a coach like Coach Monica and myself, I love challenging my clients to be able to look beyond the diet cycle and say,
Mhm.
this is what happens when you understand how your body works, understand how this lifestyle can improve your mental health and your physical health and clean up the senescent cells when you fast or what
Mhm.
have you. Like all of these things, to me, that gets me like all glimmery and happy
Oh, yeah.
because you see at first when they start, they're all about the scale, all about the weight
Yeah.
falling off, all about the goal of getting to be skinny right away. But then as they see what their body does, and
Mhm.
I'm there to say, hey, well, maybe this could be reason why that it's stalling out. And then
Yeah.
the next day they drop 4 pounds. Like it's just
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, yeah. And let's speak a little bit to those people who have chosen a different route. So times have changed, and we cannot ignore the fact that people are choosing to take a different route, and they're choosing the GLP-1 shot.
mhm,
And I want to put a disclaimer out there that no, that's not the way to go, right? However, I live on this planet and I understand and feel empathy for those people who've chosen that route because I was there. And I was so desperate for help. I was so desperate for somebody to, like Darcy said, laser the body fat off of my body. I just wanted it off. And to be quite frank with you, if that was available when went through my journey, I would have mistakenly taken it. And I thank God for the day that he showed me I didn't have to do that, because not because of the fact that they're losing weight. We're not arguing that fact. I'm going to tell you, yeah, the weight's fallen off because I mean it's science. When you don't eat, and it is, the science is there. What is not there in this? And I want you to have hope if you've chosen that way. We have a program because I understand that people are going to do it. Um, I want those people to be successful because when the weight returns, hope is diminished. Like when the weight returns, it is almost a it's almost a there's no feeling like it when you see that scale start to bump up, and you don't see it bump up for a while. And a lot of people are able, because that GLP-1 is in your system for quite a while. And I don't know the science behind how long it actually stays in your body, but what is happening is you keep that weight off for about 2 months before. And the studies that I'm doing are showing that people are very, very happy with their weight loss for about 2 months. And those are the people that are defending it. And like, it's a vicious war out there. If you say anything negative against a GLP-1, they're just like vicious. No, I'm keeping it off. I've not taken the shot for a month. Well, that's normal. It stays in your
mhm.
system for about a month. Everybody's different. Your body's different, right? But then when that hunger noise returns, and I told you my story of having the doctor put me on it. When that food noise returns, there is nothing in the world. There's no way to describe it physically. All I can say is I will be sitting here. I would be sitting here with a client, and the only thing I was thinking about was the kitchen next door. And I lived keto. I've never gone off keto. I lived keto. I lived almost carnivore. That hunger noise was so powerful. So what's happening is after about 2 months, the food noise comes back. The pound starts coming back about 1 pound a week, and then it doubles, and then it doubles until it comes back at about 5 pounds a week. And there's no stopping it unless you're on this medication for life. So I empathize with those people who just want the way. I remember sitting at the campus of Grace College and saying, God, if you help me take this weight off of my body, I will never put it on again. Not understanding that that's not science. Science just doesn't work that way. It had nothing to do with a diet. It had everything to do with math. In the fact that I had starved my body for so long, I had adapted at a low calorie rate. At a normal meal at Texas Roadhouse, a normal healthy meal, I was gaining weight. Same thing happens with the GLP-1. It's just science. And so we've created a system, and we've created a way to where that doesn't have to happen. And I had the doctor put me on a GLP-1 so I could create it, so I could live it as I was creating the program. You're going to have to reverse your diet. You're going to have to reverse your diet if you are on a GLP-1, but you have to do it methodically and you have to do it strategically, little bits at a time while you're coming off of the GLP-1. Then we also put you on a natural GLP-1 so that you don't have that insane, crazy food noise. So if you hear us, beat up on these companies and beat up on this way, we do so for a reason, because we want you to be successful, but also hear us say that there is a way out and you don't have to gain that weight back. And I would say fight for that weight that you lost, fight for it for everything you've got. And do not count out therapy. Do not count out the emotional side. When you lose weight so quickly in a GLP-1, your brain doesn't have to have time to catch up with your body, and that trauma response will come out. It will come out. It's just, when will
Mhm.
it come out? And will you be protected with either a coach or the medication, or, it'll come out. So you got to deal with it. So just know, if you hear us talk about GLP-1s, know that there's a way out, okay? But you have to be willing to invest in yourself to do it. You have to be willing to do it.
You
Otherwise,
know, when you asked me to come work for you,
mhm,
I didn't even care about the job. I honestly wanted to just hop on board with this answer that you apparently had.
uh-huh.
And in the same breath, like I don't know where I was going with this now. I just had a brain
Mm,
fart of where I was going with that.
when I asked you to come on board, something
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it was more of like I didn't care about the job.
yeah.
I
You
wanted to work, but I discovered that magic key.
yeah,
And I did not see myself having mental trauma or
yeah,
past trauma or anything like that
yeah.
until I went through and challenged myself and
Mhm.
saw how addicted I was to food.
Yeah,
And I think you had, and you still have this in the modules about emotional eating.
yeah.
And I was like, I am not an emotional eater. Like, what is
So
this?
you were.
What until I realized, wow, like how much I depended on food. And I bring this
Yeah.
up for a reason. Um, at first, I wasn't sure why I was bringing this up, but this is why I'm bringing it up because we are in the holiday season.
Mhm.
You are going to be triggered by family.
Yeah.
And I know that family drama stirs up so much past trauma, like past emotions, current emotions, all these things that we don't necessarily know how to handle.
Mhm.
And when we're trying to change our lifestyle, those two don't go hand in hand very well
Right.
because we want to depend on that food first before we depend on healing our body
Yeah.
and mind.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you are interested in starting this which is sounds crazy to start this journey right now in the midst of the chaos, but
Mhm.
this is the time to start when you're in the
Yeah.
midst of the chaos so that you can have well, especially because we have a buy one get one, right? We
Yeah,
have a buy
that's
one
true
get one
because
for
financially,
group.
yeah.
Financially, we have a group that you can join for accountability right now
Yeah.
and then join into a program later. That seems to be pretty ideal. Like if you are ready to have support,
Mhm.
let me tell you, like joining this, I just remember as if it was yesterday. And it was 5 years ago. I joined this thinking that, oh, this is all about weight loss. This is about if only I could laser this off, or if only I could just be skinny again soon, or if I could fit in this bathing suit for a vacation. I had that mindset until I had a realization and an awakening of like,
Mhm.
no, this goes way deeper.
Yeah.
So when we talk about these quick fixes with the shots, with the MLM companies that are selling you fat loss, these toxin detoxes, those detoxes are not going to get you skinny, y'all.
No.
Just saying.
No, they don't.
Um, there's some tools that are beneficial, but they're
Yeah.
not going to help
It's
you
the
lose the
choices
weight.
you make in the kitchen.
It is. So when you have that mindset of knowing that when you go into this,
Mhm.
that you are going to be changing not only what you eat and grieve it, because I'm having to grieve
Oh,
something
yeah.
right now with
Yeah.
dairy.
Yeah.
It's a hard
Well,
funeral.
let's talk about the what for a little bit because I again, when I had that scenario play out with my son and I couldn't fit on the roller coasters, that wasn't the solution.
No.
That was my push. I was given a gift and I don't think I accurately understand what that gift was. Because when you choose to put your body into ketosis, and there's a lot of controversy, and can you lose weight on a low calorie diet? Yeah, but you're miserable as all get out because you're starving. You want to eat your arm off, right? The key, and I think the almost the miracle, if we can talk about skinny drops, the skinny drop of our lifestyle is we ate so much healthy fat that we were not hungry.
Right.
We were a natural GLP-1 that was cool before it was cool, before you shot yourself in the belly, right? We were that because we had the tools that was healing our hormones. Weight loss is based all around hormones. Whether you're a male or a female, it's based around insulin. Everything you do in the weight loss journey is based around insulin. Are you feeding insulin and are you creating fat storage in your body with insulin, or are you lowering it? Period. The cool thing about our lifestyle is you're never hungry. If you are hungry on our program, you're doing it wrong. Completely wrong. If you have cravings, now not to say that you're not going to go through some detox, but if you have cravings and you are really on the struggle bus, you're not doing something right. We're not
It
replacing it.
it's your body telling you something.
Exactly. If you're
Right.
going to parties and you are not taking care of yourself, that's a problem. The problem is you're not putting yourself first and doing just a couple of steps to tweak it. Now, we don't have the convenience of convenience in our lifestyle. Some of the things we can do conveniently, but our society's addicted to convenience and unwrapping packages, right? And it's little Debbie's. It's just putting the next thing in the microwave. So yeah, there's a little bit of work there. But the cool thing is about the lifestyle, when you put your body into ketosis, you change fuel sources.
Yeah.
You no longer have that afternoon crash because you're tired, because it's a sugar crash. You no longer have an absence of serotonin. Did you know serotonin is built in your gut? 95% is built in your gut. We're crashing it. That's why you
Mhm.
have those dips. That's why depression is reversible with a ketogenic lifestyle. So, medically, we're giving you shortcuts to your healing.
Mhm.
Medically, we don't have to do anything. There's nothing you have to do. You eat a steak. You eat healthy fats. You eat butter. You eat all of the things that they told us was so bad. You know, when suddenly America started gaining weight because of low fat, because of all of their sad diet choices, we're reversing it. We are seeing the real picture, and you're no longer hungry anymore.
Right.
I don't know if I could have been successful being hungry.
I think there was a period of time in my journey though with keto that I felt like I was never satisfied, but that
Mhm.
just was my, like you were saying, my body was telling me
Mhm.
that I am not going to be working the way this next person is
Mhm.
with, how much fats they're maybe
Right.
using. Mine was actually switching to protein.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
utilizing the protein helped that natural
Right.
GLP-1 just like make my ghrelin and leptin
Yeah.
button work finally for the
I can
first
tell
time.
you, after being on a GLP-1, I can tell you that the feeling of being full and the feeling of that GLP-1 impact is more powerful on the carnivore side than
Mm,
it is the shot.
yeah. Yeah.
100%, without a doubt.
Yeah. And it comes down to the balance too. Like
Mhm.
I've been eating eggs every
Mhm.
morning. I can eat up to 6 sometimes,
Mhm.
6 eggs at a time. And then some beef sticks, or not beef sticks, but these little things, these
Mhm.
chicken, these
Chicken.
chicken things, more chicken. But I added some, um, like I would be able to eat lunch. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't so full. I switched it up a little bit to experiment,
Yeah.
and I had less eggs. I had
Yeah.
maybe 4 eggs, maybe 3 or 4 eggs. I added some butter, and I then added a little bit of mayo,
Mhm.
and I also had the chicken, and I am so uncomfortably full
Mhm.
from that. Like
Yeah.
at first when I went carnivore, it was just the protein.
Yeah.
But now as I'm being carnivore, then I have to know that, oh, I need to probably switch some things up.
Yeah.
I think my body's telling me that it needs some more fat.
But what people do is they quit. That first
They
sign of
just
hunger,
quit.
they
Oh, this
quit.
doesn't work.
Or they
Yeah,
go to keto
exactly.
crap. Keto
Yep.
crap is not keto, y'all. It
No.
is not. It is a detriment. It's a diet food.
Yes.
And
And
you will be hungry on it
some
for
people will
sure.
be like, "Oh, well, this is what's going on with my body. Does that mean that I need, I have to have more fats? Don't think I can eat more fats." Well, maybe it's
Mhm.
not the fats.
Mhm.
Look at what you're eating.
Right.
Maybe it's something else. Or maybe if it's not enough protein, maybe you do need
Mhm.
more fat. So
Yeah.
the point is that this is not a one size fits all,
No.
and that when you become researchers of yourself
Mhm.
and nobody else but yourself, that is when you're going to find more success,
Right.
than the next person that just
Right.
gives up or goes
Yeah.
to the easy way out.
And most
Or
people give up right before they, like you said, right before
yeah,
they have a 4-pound whoosh. that they've lost. They
Yeah.
give up, and that's where those diet cycles continue. So when you
Mhm.
settle in for the journey and you understand the science behind what you're doing, you understand what toxins do to your body, you understand what food dyes do to your body, what seed oils do to your body. When you understand that fact and you get rid of them one by one, you start to feel things again. You start to understand, oh, I wasn't supposed to be living my life in pain like that. Some people don't even know they were living in pain until it's gone.
Until
And
it's
they're like,
gone.
whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you start to notice all these pains that you were carrying before the end and being like,
Mm-hmm.
with my shoulder, like if I have inflammation, it's gonna start to flare up because
Mm-hmm.
I've always had pain there for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when you tear down the walls and when you tear down the structure one by one and you get rid of all of the old habits and all of the old beliefs, not all at once, but when you do it one at a time, you start to feel things that you've never felt before. And then that gives you another piece to your puzzle.
Mhm.
I had a drink the other night. I'll never forget this. I had a drink the other night. We were at a Christmas party. It was a keto drink. It was alcohol. And I have never been in so much pain. I didn't sleep that night, never been in so much pain in my life. And I'm like, I didn't even know that that's the way you felt when you put those things and you
Yeah.
put that poison in your body. I've cleaned myself out so much that I am so sensitive to anything. Like that did not serve me well.
Yeah.
There is no
Right.
there is no reason why I would ever go back to that again.
Dr. Chris Palmer, I was
I
listening
love
to his
him.
podcast. I have this huge high respect for this man. He is
He is
just
amazing.
really intelligent. He was talking about alcohol and
Uh-huh.
how, yes, alcohol, there's certain alcohols that are zero carbs and
Yeah.
that there's people that like to drink. And I get that. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. But he
Mhm.
was saying it's not as bad as arsenic and cyanide because those are highly toxic to our bodies that will kill our
Right.
mitochondria.
Yeah.
But alcohol is not far off from that.
No.
And when we drink, we are drinking toxins and poisons into our mitochondria, which our
Mhm.
mitochondria is the root cause, or the root um, found or a factory that makes our body work properly. And if
Uh-huh.
you're not feeding it right, it's not going to feel good. And so that's, you just said that and that
Yeah.
clicked. But I
Yeah,
I
it's
if you
totally
are interested, like, follow Dr. Palmer
Dr.
and
Palmer. He is
learn about.
reversing mental health.
Oh
Oh
my
my g
goodness.
mental health issues.
Yeah.
It
So,
is
and it's
just
so easy to listen to.
crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Guys, if you're on the struggle bus, if you're not ready, you're not ready. Don't waste your money on pills, potions, pokes. Do not waste your money until you're really ready to lose weight. And if you're not ready to lose weight, it's okay. Do not beat yourself up because when you're ready, you're going to go in there like a boss. You're going to get it done. And not only that, you're going to keep it off. I
Mhm.
am not interested in working with anyone who wants short-term weight loss. Not interested at all. What I do, in fact, there are certain things that I've been deciding, I've been kind of putting some headspace together on what kind of a conference I want to throw and what I am willing to compromise on, not willing to compromise. Our message is so important and so powerful that I'm not willing to make people feel good. I'm not
Right.
willing to not offend people based on a message of intuition or a message of feel good. I've been there, done that. I'm not willing to waste people's time. And so when you're ready to lose weight, you're going to know. You're going to be like, I am willing to invest everything. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to put myself first. I'm willing to tell my family and friends I'm off limits. I am willing to do anything you say. We know those clients when they come to us, and those are the successful ones. Those are the ones who we are cheering at the end of this year. I'm just thinking we need to have some sort of end of year party for those clients who come in for the year program because the ones who succeed, they're in it for life
Yeah.
and they're not going back. Those are the clients that I want to work with. And
I
I want to watch people be free of addictions, you know?
they're in that place when they can't stop talking about the science.
Exactly.
It
I know.
makes my heart so happy, like,
Yeah. And when
you
they don't
are
freak out about the
learning.
dang scale.
Right? So true.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my
Yeah.
favorite.
I want long-term weight loss stories. I don't care, and that's not, again, I'm not a great marketer for our company because if I was a great marketer, I'd be like, "Hey, here's everybody's before and after pictures that aren't my own, and here's how many pounds we've lost. No, I don't even care about that. I probably, and in the scheme of things, I probably should have created a running log of how many pounds that have been lost. I'm not in. What I want to know is how long are we keeping it off? I don't care how you
Right.
got it off. How long
Right.
are you keeping it off? That's what I
Yep.
care about, because that's what we're
Yep.
living right now. You and I live every day with the
Mhm.
fear, not a fear anymore, but you and I live every day with the responsibility to keep our weight off
Yep.
because we have a new life. Our
Yeah.
kids have a new mother.
Mhm.
Our I said one time, I said my husband has a different wife, and somebody thought that we weren't together anymore. He does have a different wife. He really does. He
Yeah.
has a different wife. And he thanks me all the time for changing my life, which tells me he did know that I had a weight problem
Well, he
before.
he didn't know, but he didn't know what he
You're overweight, and so when I'm having a bad day and I'm feeling kind of yucky about my, because I still struggle with body
Yeah.
dysmorphia,
Yeah.
and he'll be like, "Oh, you look wonderful," and I'm like, "Your track record on that is not very good. I'm gonna go call my sister. She'll tell me the truth."
Or will I?
Guys, if you need help, it is not too late, and this year's not too late to reserve your spot. Number one, we only take 5 year clients. Darcy, you started taking your clients this year.
Yep.
You have your first one, and so we only
Mhm.
take 5 a year because we devote our heart and soul to these people. They have unlimited access to us. They have unlimited, it's an intense program. So you may not be there yet. You may be at the place that, hey, I'm not willing to lose weight. You're not ready for us. Please do not call us. But if you are to the point that we were when we were like, I'll do anything, then that's when you pick up the phone. That's when you schedule a free health session with us, and that's when you enroll. If you want the year program, you have to let us know, because that is an application process. So we have to put you in that one.
Yep.
Our 3-month program is probably our most successful fast term weight loss, because you lose about 30 pounds in that program. If we teach you everything that we know, and we take you through some pit times, some downtimes. So kmhealthcoaching.org is our website. We've just had a refurbish of the site. So I also, just letting you know, I also have created my addiction treatment center. I wanted to make it more affordable for people, so I have adapted and I have adjusted that program so that it is attainable for those people who are desperate. So kmhealthcoaching.org. Go over to Coach Darcy's website under there. Go under my website. Go check us out. Set up a free assessment. Hey, and we're gonna have one more podcast coming out this year, and
Is it only
then
one more?
we have one more.
One more.
One more, and then we're going to take a little break, and then at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year, we're going to kick off January with a brand new podcast season. It's been fun to do
It
this
has.
first season with you. We've had a lot of downloads, and so today at about 3:00, you can go check us out, and check out and download the latest podcast, and
The
then we will
scale.
see you at the beginning of the year
Yeah.
for Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness.
Yes.
If you have any questions, please reach out
I was
to
like,
us.
"No." They're asking me.
And we will see you next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook, all of our socials. All
Yep.
right. Have a great rest of your week, guys.
Bye.